Today I'm going to show you how to get PSP emulation up and running in Retroarch. There's really only one choice when it comes to a PSP emulator at the moment, and that is PPSSPP. And there is a standalone version, but I have found very little difference between it and the Retroarch version. So let's make life simple and use Retroarch. Let's get started. First thing you're going to need to do is download Retroarch. If you don't already have it, there will be a link in the upper right and in the description for you to find it. So go ahead and open up Retroarch. We are going to launch the online updater, open the core updater, scroll all the way down to the Sony section. Yes, there's a lot of Nintendo stuff. So find Sony, there we are, and select PlayStation Portable PPSSPP. Press A, enter, cross, whatever you have to download that, and then go ahead and quit out of Retroarch because we have some additional steps we got to do here. So open up a web browser, and we are going to go to retroarch.com. And once you're there, we're going to click on Docs. And for users, for documentation, Sony cores, and PlayStation Portable. And this is going to tell us what extra files we need and how to name them and get them properly placed. So there are some files that are needed for PPSSPP. Thankfully, a BIOS file is not one of them, and all of the available files are available for free online just by simply following this link in the documentation provided. So to get started, we're going to go to our system folder inside of our Retroarch install, create a new folder, and we are going to name that folder PPSSPP. Documentation has it all caps. I don't think it really matters, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's what it tells me to do. So go ahead and go to the link provided in the core documentation. Click on this little green box over here, tell it to download the zip file, and once that's finished, get it extracted. And once that's finished, go ahead and open up the assets folder, and we need to copy everything that is in here into our new PPSSPP folder, like so. And once you have all those files copied over, go ahead and open up Retroarch and navigate your file browser over to your game directory and choose something you want to play, because guess what? You're done! Of course, I'm not going to leave you just yet, because I want to go ahead and show you some of the other cool things we can do with PPSSPP. In the options menu, you're going to find quite a few options available to you. So we've got CPU speed, so you can make games run a little bit quicker than their stock 266 megahertz. Depending on your video card, you might actually find that your image is rendering upside down, so you need to do this whole unbuffered, non-buffered video rendering thing to fix that. Color depth, frame skip. If you have a lower end CPU and you need to do some frame skipping, this is your option here. And then of course we have internal resolution to make our games look a lot nicer. Internal resolutions on PPSSPP can be pushed well beyond 4K, so just be aware that you might need to use some GPU usage on this. It's not too bad, so I'm just going to stick to 1080 because that's, well, the monitors I have. So got texture scaling, texture filtering. This is just to make textures get filtered another way. Then of course anisotropic filtering if you want your textures to look a little sharper. And then some other options here. The last option down here that's really worth noting is I/O threading, but it can cause some bugs. Now to get the full experience of Retroarch, we are of course going to apply some shaders. So we're going to go ahead and load a shader preset, and we're going to go down to the handheld folder, and then we're going to select the console border section, and when you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to see that there are a ton of PSP border options. So just like with our DS emulation, if you're running at a higher internal resolution than native, your borders are going to be a little messed up. As you can see, the game is not scaled to this border, so we're going to have to reset to native internal resolution, and there we have it. Our game is being played inside of this nice, wonderful PSP border, but, you know, it's kind of zoomed out, so I don't really care to see all of the PSP like I do on the DS side, so we're going to load up this 3x scale. that is just perfect for 1080p monitors. It still gives us quite a bit of the border and zooms it in, as well as gives us this nice LCD filter to make it really look like a PSP screen. It just really pops. But if you like that LCD screen look without the border, go ahead and load up the 4x shader, and that way you just have no border whatsoever, and you just get that nice screen effect. Like, it's really good looking. But regardless of how you like it to look, if you don't want it to look like anything, make sure you save your core overrides, so that way whenever you load up a PSP game, these are the settings that are automatically going to be loaded every time, so you don't have to mess with anything else ever again on this side of things. And as a backup, you can also go ahead and save your shader config to automatically load when you load up PPSSPP as well, just as a failsafe in case you have some special settings that you just really like the way this to look. And there you have it. Go enjoy some PSP games.
Construction of the new Porter Road Tunnel.
And there you have it, PPSSPP ready to go, looking great, and ready to be played. So thank you all so much for your continued support of this channel. I really enjoy making these tutorials. If I am helping you guys get at least one emulator set up and running, I am feeling pretty dang good. So as always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you have any requests of what you'd like to see next, always leave those in the comments below as well. Now, I need you guys to do something very, very important for me. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that sub button and that like or dislike button, depending how much you like this video. Thank you again, my friends, and we will see you all back next video.